this is the login page we have for Bits Pvt Ltd. And let's log in this. And we will be having each and every department. We will be having a login ID credentials. So I just want to show you like how the software works and what are the features included in this business management software. And we'll be discussing each and every menu in it. Okay. So let's log in this. So this is the software looks up, like the look and feel of the software. So you're looking at the dashboard, this is the dashboard of this complete entire software. So based on each and every data which is uploaded and each and every data which is added in this software module, all the summarized data will be up here in this dashboard. Okay, and you can see here this is a self-assigned task. For suppose you have any assigned task for yourself, that will be listed here. And assigned task, someone has assigned you a task, like what are the activities, what are the tasks you should have to do, so that will be up here. And for suppose you are authorized to subject any task to any employees, so you can that data and that list of a task to list of employees, that will be up here. Okay, so now we will be discussing about the first menu of the software called master. So these are the this is the important menu we have in the software. All the key rules, all the key operation of the software can be done here, and all the business information will be uploaded here in this master software. So this is the first menu, departments. For suppose we will be having a lots of departments in our organization, right? So like which is called HR, which is called accountant, business development, operational management, quality control management. Like that. In every means we have a department for our organization. So that information we have to incorporate here, like while typing the name of the department, typing the short form, and typing the purpose. What is that department do, the purpose of the department, and responsibilities of the department of the what the department is completely responsible for, and remarks if you have any. Okay, so this is how look once you added all the departments of your business. Okay, and designation, like how we have added this department part, same as we will be having a designation list of the employees and designation list, whatever the employees having a particular designation, that will be listed here. So like this we have from top management to the last one, even helper, even housekeeping, the person who is there in our office, everybody like we will be assigning a designation to them, right? So that designation part will be uploading here. Okay, while typing like designation name, managing director, general manager, accountant, helper, technician, engineer, whatever designation you have offered to that employee, that will be up here. Okay, and gender, the basic thing, like if you have a we have a genders list, male, female, others, and whatever, that will be added here in this column. Okay, and same as marital status, single, married, divorce, whatever we have, marital status, whatever we have, a single, married, and divorce and kind of things, that will be listed here. And same as blood groups, what blood groups will be typing here. Okay, and units, basically this is a mechanical inspection company, and in generally what are the units we have, for suppose meter, for suppose liter, inch, square feet, etc, etc. So that all kind of units which have been included in a mechanical company, that will be we should have to write that all the units here while keeping the status active, in order to once we quote anything, like for suppose if we have a value and we don't know what are the units of this value, so for that means we should have to write all the units which have been included in our business. Okay, and taxes, this is actually an Indian based company, and if we have been incorporated the government of India, the standard one, the SGST state GST tax, and central GST, IGST, and service tax. These are the standard form which we have for taxes list, that will be listed here. And we will be writing here name and percentage, and we'll save here. their data will be up here. And make sure the status is active again in this taxes list. Okay, and let's see for banks. Yeah, these are the banks we have for this business. And if you have any banks, we will just type in the bank's name, and will be that data will be listed here. Okay. Payment terms, payment types actually. So for suppose we have offered a service to the client, and by which means we are receiving the payment, that status will be that type of payment will be listed here. For suppose we are getting by cash, or we are getting by check, or we are getting online transfer, any means, any means of payment kind of things, that will be listed here. Okay. Inquiry status. So this is the inquiry list we have. In generally, what type of inquiries we will be getting? For giving the inquiry status, we need to give a feedback for that, right? Like we have received the inquiry, and we have successfully completed that inquiry. We have given all the services which we have requested, and that thing will be awarding, like that the inquiry is closed. If suppose the inquiry has been awarded, the project has been awarded to a business, like we will be listing here that project is awarded. If suppose the project is ongoing, we will be listing ongoing. Okay. And for suppose we have got a call, and the services which is not in our scope, and that there in that place we will be writing not in our scope, like that. In similar way, if you have any kind of inquiry status, like what are all things, so that will be listed here in this inquiry status part. So once we have given like all the details, like pending, running, ongoing, awarded, so that we will be typing here, and we'll be saving the data, and that results will be coming up here. Okay. So let's see this inquiry types we have. So this Bits Private Limited company provides a training, provides a consultancy job, provides a services, provide India, pan India, and overseas consultancy. Okay. So in that nature of this business, and that means according to their perspective, this services list have been incorporated. Okay. For suppose this that we have received inquiry which is all related to services, that industrial inspection services part. So we will be listed here in services. And if suppose we have an inquiry for related to training, that we'll be selecting the training part. Okay, I like that. If suppose we have a inquiry for manpower supply, Indian overseas, that will be listed here. According to which type of inquiry we are getting, and that will be subjected to what type of inquiry it is. That that data will be typed in here to state that what type of inquiry it is. Okay. And fixed expenses. In generally, each and every organization is having a fixed expenses list. So like for suppose we have salaries, which is obviously a monthly basis part, and any rents, or any office rent, or any kind of rents we have, that is obviously a monthly basis part. In similar to that, if we have any fixed expenses list, that we will be listing here. Okay. And make sure, and we will be keeping the status active. Okay. And repair types. We have a bunch of assets for a company, and we have a bunch of inventories for a company, and we have a transportation part, that vehicles and all. So in order to justify it, in order to get their repairs, that standard repairs will be, type of repairs will be listed here. For suppose we have a generator for a company, on regular basis of maintenance, we need to change the engine oil. So that comes under maintenance part, and that it's kind of a repair thing, right? Like we will be repairing that engine oil. We'll be placing a different engine oil. That type of repairs things will be listed here. Okay, like brake shoes. Like you have vehicles we have a fleets for our business. If we need to change the brake shoes, that is kind of that comes under a repair part. You understand, right? So that is all comes under this repair type list. Okay. And let's see services and parameter. So services and parameter are very important for this module. For suppose whatever the services we have for a business will be listed here. Okay. So this is the block where we will be typing all the services, all the services, like training services, manpower supply, whatever services we have for business, we'll be writing here, and here in this services name, like what type of service it is. Obviously, it will be redirecting to main service main actually. So services name is something which is very particular to the services main. Okay. For suppose the services main is like a gamma ray radiography inspection. Okay. What we need to type here in service name is, so where we are offering this gamma ray inspection, whether we are offering at the workshop, whether we are offering at the site, whether we are offering it onshore, whether we are offering a gamma ray inspection in the erection part of unit, any tanks, any vessels, piping, any component. If you say any specific, that type of services name will be listed here. Not only radiography. So in all kind of services we have for this business, will be writing here. Okay, and parameter. So for each and every business services, we will be having assets, right? So for that services type, for the main services type, whatever the assets and inventory which have been included in that should be comes under in the parameter type. Okay. So like for suppose we have a service called ultrasonic testing. For suppose like that, in this which whatever the things, what are the parameters are being included while operating ultrasonic testing, that each and every parameters list will be typing here. Okay, and like we'll be typing a UT machine, like we'll be typing UT probe. So if we type a UT machine, like we need to check like which type of logistics it is coming, whether it is inventory or whether it is assets. So we need to select that first, and once it is selected, we need to save. Okay. So you're getting right. So if suppose a radiography, like we have a radiographic camera. So that camera, if you think it is, it comes under an asset type of logistics, or it is comes under inventory type of logistics. That particular parameter we need to highlight here in this parameter block. Okay. So once we highlight all this parameter block for all the services, which will be listed here in this column. Okay, you can see that these are the parameters. These are the assets we have. Gamma ray radiography, and this is the crank unit is it comes under assets. So like that, whatever assets we have, whatever inventory part we have for each and every kind of services particularly, that will be listed here. Okay, and you can see here this is the service main. All the services will be listed here in this column. Like you can see here, services main list, and the same as services main, you can all the data will be listed here in the services list. Okay. So same as discussed, in particularly what from the services main, to speak particularly where we are offering that services to some particular point, that will be listed here. For suppose you can check here, gamma ray testing in testing radiography in a workshop, gamma ray testing erection, and in above ground, underground, it is completely specifying which service is going to which particular part. Okay. So, and this is the assets item. We need to type. We need to add all the assets which we have for a business here, and see this. And this is the asset type we have. All these are all the assets we have for a business. Okay. So we'll select any type of assets. Like we'll select whether it is a camera, whether it is a crank unit, whether it is a guide tube and all. Let's say this is a crank unit. We'll be writing asset model and what type of crank unit we have, and we will be giving a life period for that. For suppose it is it will be working for 5 years, or it will be working for 3 or 4 years. Any kind of period for which you want to justify that asset, we will be writing here. Okay, and client types. Basically it will be redirecting from the inquiry part, So for suppose we got an inquiry, and we will be judging that whether the client is existing or whether this is a new client, or any kind of any type of client which we have, which we judge for them. In according to that, we will be writing here. For suppose we have a new client here, existing client, and previous client. So like if we have any type of clients we have for a business, that will be listed here, and we'll go for inquiry mode. So, in which means we are getting inquiry. For suppose, what are the means of inquiry which we are getting? Like walk-in, call, mail, any text message, voice mail. Any kind of means which we have for like to receive inquiries, that will be listed here. And make sure that the status is active here. Like we'll type the detail here, and that data will be up here with the status active. Okay. And this is the material request status type. So for suppose we are requesting for some kind of material in this department. So for suppose, what is the status of the material, as we discussed in the inquiry part, whether it is the status is pending, awarded, and like the same as this request will be related to all these things. Like for suppose, material request status will be requested, comes under requested, comes under pending, delivered, or completed. Related to all this material kind of requests, that names will be listed here. Okay. So employee allowances. So these are the allowances which we have. So these are the allowances which we have for a business. Whatever allowances we are offering to the candidates, like site allowances, accommodation allowances, overtime allowances, food allowances. Whatever you say for your allowances, that we will be writing here. Okay. And create accounts. So as discussed, we will be having each and every department login ID password. Like we need to create every department login ID and credentials. So that part will be written here. So what are the rules? What are the rules we have? First of all, we will be writing the role. What is the role of the employee? Okay. And once we go down, we'll select which branch, how many branch this company is having, for which branch this role has been awarded, and we'll be selecting a role actually. So as discussed, that role accountant will be selecting. Okay. So after selecting of this, once we submit this, these are the roles and responsibility. Like will be one. If you say, suppose we have added accountant, so like we have many menus in this in this parameters, right? So if we want to edit this role, so if we want to edit this role, where we need to give all the permission, whether this accountant is authorized to edit any kind of this menus. Like you can see here in master, we have many departments. Like as we have been discussing, this accountant is authorized to edit, or like it is authorized to approve. You can see here, view, edit, delete, and approval options are here. So we need to judge them. We need to give a open free base, like whether they are authorized to do this kind of activities. And this is the human resource menu we have, and this is the operation menu we have. I know wherever the access of this accountant we find, and we need to just like in this place that accountant can view the data of this other department, and this place like whether the accountant can edit any kind of data in this department. So in order to that specific part, we will be highlighting each and every roles of this business departments. Okay. So same as it will be go for admin, same as we'll go for a BDM and branch head, whoever we have listed all the departments. So all that kind of departments will be authorized to access any kind of department if you give the permissions here. Okay, while like this, like we check here, so that they can have access to view the master part. Okay, and this is the create logins. As discussed, for each and every branch, for each and every role, and for each and every employee, we will be having a login credentials. That details we have to type here. Okay, so we'll select for suppose this guy is from NDDCDC head office, so we'll select here, and this and that roles is related to BDM, and we'll select BDM. And what is the username of the employee, will be given that privately, and the password will be listed here. And once we save, that data will be that login credentials data will be up here. And like we can see that like what are the credentials we have for what are the login details we have for our business can be looking up here. Okay. And add organization something. If you have any branches for a business, like I will type here the organization name, city, addresses, and all the basic details of a company will be typed in here. And you can see this company is having a six type of branches. Six branches of that six branches details are listed here. Okay. And this is the documentation part. So what are the documents we required? Like for suppose we need a document from the employees, whether it's the proof identity, the certificates, the resume, whatever the documents we have, like that will be listed here. We'll type the documents, whether this document has been checked or not by the employee, whether this document is checked by the department or not. All kind of documents will be listed here. Okay. And this is the training types we have. So like this Bits Pvt Ltd offer trainings also, right? So we need to specify what type of trainings, what type of trainings we are offering. What are the course details? What are the course duration? What is the fee structure for that? We will be listing here. So here we will be typing which type of course training type we are offering, whether it is internal or external. What is the course name we'll be writing, duration we'll be writing, and what is the price we offer for which type of course, and what type of training we are offering. Specifying that training courses we'll be adding here, and related to qualification type, whether it is external or internal. We will be having, after completion of the training, we will be having, we need to qualify that the training candidate, right? Like whether it is external kind of exams or internal kind of exams will be listed here. Related qualification of the candidate will be typing here. What is the certificate body we are offering will be here. And what is the purpose, if you have any purpose for what type of things in related to this training courses will be writing. And approved trainer, like how many trainers we have to give this training courses. All the approved trainer will be listed here. Okay. So we'll be writing all the courses here, and we'll be writing approved trainer, like whether this trainer can able to take care of all this training courses which we have for a business. That trainer will be that approved trainer name will be listed here. And suppose for if we have one trainer and he's capable of taking all kind of training courses we have. So we'll be writing that trainer name here, and with each and every specific courses and each and every specific training type, whether it is external or internal, that type of credentials will be listed here, and with which approved trainer is been authorized to take classes of that kind of training, that will be listed here. Okay. And all kind of data is typed in here, and this will be the result block will be getting here. Okay. And accommodation, obviously, like we have accommodation for our candidates, for our students we offer, and that accommodation details will be here. So what type of accommodation we are offering, like for whom we are offering, whether it is for office accommodation or employee accommodation. So that name, address, whoever present in the accommodation will be listed here. Okay. So if you have any payment for the accommodation will be typed here, and like what are the frequency of having a payment for that, we can type in here. How many floors we have for accommodation, and which room, for one room, like for which room he's been awarded, like getting filtered, like giving a data for them. So this is called adding accommodation details here. Okay. Employee categories, so like we will be suppose we will be hiring a candidate for a business, and first of all we need to judge like what category he comes under. Okay. For suppose if he comes under employee category, or like comes under only project employee, or it comes under only technical part employee, or comes under only housekeeping HR part of only taking care of a documentation part. In order to decide that whether it is office employee or project employee or service order employee, like scrutinizing what type of category the employees with us for a company, that will be listed here. Okay. And penalty types, if you have any penalty types for a business, like any kind of penalties for whether it is government related or like whether it is privately related, or any means of penalty which we are which we are bound to do, kind of bound to pay kind of penalty charges and things and all. So that information will be listed here. Okay. So this is a completely a master menu, like which we have discussed, and you can see that this is the departments. All the departments of the business will be listed, and this is the designation part. How many designations we have for a business will be here, and same as gender, same as marital status, blood groups, units. Whatever units have been frequently used of business will be listed here, and these are the taxes we have for a business, and this is the banks which have been incorporated. This is the payment types we have, what type of payment we are receiving. And this is the inquiry status, whether it is pending, whether it is awarded or on. This is the inquiry type, of by which means we are getting the inquiries, what type of inquiries we have, and what type of services we are offering. Okay, and this is the fixed expenses we have. So as discussed, the salaries, rents, maintenance part, and all. So this is the repair part, like all time standard repairs we have for a business, that will be listed. And services and parameter, here we will be typing all the services of the business and all the parameters of the business, each and every specific, particularly each and every services list should be added here, and make sure the status is active again. And this is the assets item, the validity and the asset model, what type of asset item we have. Okay, and this is the client type, what type of client we have for a business, whether it is new, existing, or previous, the data will be up here. And this is the mode of the inquiry, how we are receiving the inquiry, whether it is call, walk-in, or any mail type of things, like by which means we are receiving inquiry to a business will be that type of inquiry status will be listed here. And material request, like we what type of requesting status, material requesting status, whether it is a requested state, or like whether it is completed state, whether it is pending, justifying the status of the material, that details will be listed here. Employee allowances, whatever allowances we are providing to the employees will be, all data will be listed here, with the percentages of the allowances. Creating an account, for every department we will be creating an account, and creating logins for every particular employee. We will be creating logins. And if you have any branch office for our organization, all the branch details will be listed here. Okay, so same as we have seen. And what are the document types, so what type of document types we have for a business will be listed here. Okay, and these are the training types, training modules. So we have a lot of training modules we have, so that for each and every particular training, each and every particular fees we have. So that discussion, that type of discussion and that type of details and credentials will be listed here. Okay, all the training parts. And this is the accommodation, whoever have been placed in the accommodation, all the accommodation details will be coming up here. And this is the category, which category the employees has been awarded, whether it is an office employee or project employee or like service order employee. Any means of employee categories will be listed. And this is the penalty types, as discussed. If we are bound to pay any kind of penalties on annual basis, or any kind of penalty types in monthly basis, that type of credentials should be written here, and make sure the status is active. If suppose we have completed the penalty task, and we are not supposed to pay any kind of things, so that here we will be typing the status is inactive, so that that a notification or that kind of penalty alerts which we will be not getting in any other means. Okay, so this is the first menu we have, and we'll discuss the second HR human resources menu in the second video. Okay, thank you.